But it's his fault. Before he gets...
Oh, wait, step, no, step forward. Come on, Dean.
Story.
Okay.
You've got enough of me. They can tell you the story.
No.
You come back, Dean. No, you're on the hook, I think. Okay, let's hear it.
Let's see. I was acting in a play called Wait Until Dark.
And I should preface this because I came to see one of the early shows.
Right.
And was quite taken with you.
Yes, of course.
And then I saw you in the closing night. And I thought you were a real jerk.
However,
closing
night,
in the role, that is.
Dean worked with her in a computer company, DTSS, right?
Actually, at the time, it was Logic.
Was it?
Yeah, it was in Logic already. I was at Logic. We had been with DTSS before. We knew each other.
From DTSS, yes.
And Confidencia.
And he had arranged for Polly to
Yes,
come.
I had just moved to town and built a house over in
Did you hear that? She built a house. Because I heard that. And she showed up with her tool belt.
To help with strike.
To help with strike of the last night of the show. And I'm glad that even though she thought I was a jerk, she stuck around.
And we met, right here, stepping off the thrust.
I introduced them. And then we went to Barbara Payson's house for the cast party afterwards.
Many cast parties.
She didn't just wear a tool belt. She knew how to use the tools better than anybody else on this set. It was taking things apart. The strike went very quickly, thanks to the experienced carpenter on the stage.
Absolutely. But when we got to the cast party, Barbara had, still working at that time, a lap pool in a greenhouse attached to her house. It's still there, but it doesn't work anymore, so it's empty. But people had brought swimsuits or were able to borrow them, and we all wound up in this lap pool for an hour or two.
No, I remember about 1 in the morning.
Yes, about 1 in the morning, playing with rubber duckies and swimming back and forth and splashing. And by the end of it, these two young lovers had become young lovers. And they, well, not, just in the sense that they were smitten, truly smitten. And
then our first date was in this building with David Lasagna performance. I got a little back rub up on the light booth up in your corner.
Yes, things we remember. Back rubs still happen too.
Anyway,
so
after that, my
that's that
role
story.
after that was mostly, I did a few assistant directorships where I got to watch him make out with other women, and that got a little difficult. And then I mostly stayed home with the kids while he came up and
you did
his
act
thing.
once, though, the
Yes.
train to Montreal.
Yes.
What was
and
that?
I did a reading.
Yes, and a reading, yeah.
Not talk.
All right.
Or talk.
Were you not expecting to be on camera? Did they not tell you
No.
that was going to happen?
I knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
I knew Mom and Dad were going to rope me into this. Probably volunteer in different community, basically. A lot. Like I did my Boy Scout project out here.
Eagle Scout.
Eagle Scout project, I should say. I did a lot of light work with Dad. For what I remember trying to help him with the separate musical sets for Jenny. And
A lot of platforms.
a lot of platforms. Yeah. So.
And you were in that open field circus quite a few times.
Yep.
You
Yes,
were a
he
flying
was
fettuccine
Yeah,
many times.
many times.
So how did you prepare for your role as flying fettuccine?
I don't remember. That was
I think that was like 20 minutes the night before, wasn't it?
exactly. Yeah.
I think that's typecasting.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Where did that name come from?
The very first circus of, I'm blanking on the name, but a couple, who didn't last long as a couple, actually showed up and they came with the idea of the flying fettuccine, which they had done somewhere and put it together with the folks here, and it's stayed with us ever since. That would have been in 76?
Yeah, it was great. Dean working with kids was a pretty amazing thing. It would take kids of all sizes and shapes and turn them into this Italian family. And Mama Fettuccine changed every year, but Papa was the same all the time.
Has theater ever taken over your life?
It became an issue when he would commit to a play that was going to take up all of August and early September, which was the hardest time of year to give up to be able to go away, and also the start of school. That became difficult.
She put her foot down on that one.
Yeah.
But no, he was so good on stage, it was hard to say no, especially when he was acting.
It's done a whole lot for me. I don't know that it's done that much for my family.
It's a community that we
The community has been amazing.
plug into.
Plugged in, yeah, on the edges.
Yeah. I mean, when I first came up here, I didn't know what the hell I was going to do. I sort of flunked out of college. It was my girlfriend and I left Washington, D.C. She was going into Vista. I knew the Army was going to get me. And I got sucked into a play. I had never acted before. And they were doing the Miracle Worker. Linda Strohmeyer was directing. It was in the multi-purpose room at the elementary school. And I got sucked in. I said, wow, this is a lot of fun being somebody else, because I really wasn't crazy about myself at that point. And then I got in the Army, and the Army didn't know what to do with me, but there were community theaters everywhere I play, at Fort Knox and then again in Germany, and I got to play roles there. And got out, and I got a role in a civic theater in Waterbury, Connecticut before I came back up here. So I just kept hunting for ways to get into the theater. I never felt like I could do it professionally, but boy, it really did grab a hold of my life, and it gave me a reason to live here, and it's been I felt like it's been a big family, big extended family.
Our community family here has mostly grown from parish players. Our daughter got the stage bug. She was in every musical there was over at Thetford Academy, and also some work she did stage managing here. She did tech work for NCCT, and she definitely got more of the stage bug than
I got the math.
Will and I are sort of
The math
behind the scenes.
Yeah, behind the scenes.
Got it, says you do.
No, I haven't performed much recently. I mean, the Odd Couple, and then after the Odd Couple, we did The Endgame, which was not a particularly popular play. Beckett doesn't draw crowds. But anyway, it was, and so I found less time to do that, to do the acting that I love to do. But I'll get back into it someday. It goes in these ups and downs, and knowing that the theater is here is really a big relief to me. That I can, if I have the time, I'll come in and use it and have a chance to express myself.
Sure.
Well, I think Dean said it. It's always the openness of it. It's the availability, the fact that you arrived a couple of years ago and said, here's an opportunity. I can direct a show here. And the fact that that is always possible for somebody with, the desire, the talent, the energy, that it's here for them to put it in. And there's a community around that responds to that energy. And so, the openness, and it'd be easy for this place to become a club. The same people all the time. And I just hope that doesn't happen. And, it hasn't, so I don't think it will. I don't know.
Thank you guys so much. I'm gonna have Sheila take a seat.